Live.
Just like Copper said, it's showtime, baby. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the GhettoRig podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. We got Jay right here as my co-host. And behind the camera, we got Miguel, like always.
Yo, what's going on?
So, welcome back, guys. Got another action-packed full episode for you. Not really action-packed, let's say info-packed. I like to start off today's day with ask Miggy if he's got any of his good questions for us today. They were very good last time, so I want to see what you got today, Miggy. Let's start it off with that.
Questions. I do have to pull them up, so just give me a minute.
So,
yeah, you, man.
So I was doing an experiment, and I started doing it yesterday, right? So yesterday or the day before that, I kind of recorded when was last time I ate, and the last time I ate was 4 p.m. at night, and then after that, I didn't eat anything at all.
You said at night.
Well, afternoon, yeah, 4 p.m. afternoon, and then I didn't eat anything at all, right, into the Wednesday. And then right around 2 o'clock, bro, I was getting headaches and things like that. And I was like, all right, man, I know I'm hungry. You know, like,
Oh, someone got you good today, huh?
no, it usually happens. Maybe they did.
I think so.
Maybe they did. I don't know. So
Yesterday you did
getting headaches
2
and stuff
o'clock,
like that. And I ate at 2 o'clock. I was like, all right, 2 o'clock. So I've been trying to like see if I can push it. I want to get to the point where I'm doing like once every month. I want to go like 72 hours without eating.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to push it. So today I actually went 24 hours without eating.
Yes.
So since I ate yesterday at around 2 p.m., I didn't start eating till 2 p.m. today, and I ate 2 p.m. today. And one thing I noticed, the amount of food that I ate and the heavy food that I ate, I'm surprisingly feeling extremely light. Like, it's almost like I ate a salad, even though it was just like a plate of pasta with meat in it. I went straight up Mikey Musumeci diet, you know? And I'm feeling good, so I'm going to try to see how I'm going to feel tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to try to push it a little bit more. Like, I'm going to go, like, I'm not going to eat till about maybe late night. Like, I'm going to try not to eat anything at all until I, like, you know, because we usually get together on Fridays and whatnot. I'm going to wait to see if I can push it that far.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. Yeah. But so
I'm going to try to see if I can push it.
are you trying to go for the whole ketosis thing, right?
No,
Not necessarily, right?
not ketosis, because see, here's what happens. Okay, since evolution of 300,000 years, right? Like, we didn't really, like, agricultural revolution happened about 11,000 years ago, and that's when we figured out that we can fucking plant crops. And usually, I think it happened in ancient Egypt, where they figured out that the crops are growing and they could just like collect this and then make bread out of it. And they went wide scale and started planting crops, which then bread became plentiful, right? That's literally the last revolution. Any type of a evolutionary revolution that we had was the agriculture, right? Being able to grow food at rapid rate, and a lot of it.
Technology, though.
I don't know if technology had revolutionized anything really at
Or
the end of the day.
industrial.
Yeah, so
Like, I remember
yeah.
in school learning about the Industrial
Yeah,
Revolution.
those are revolutions, but they're not evolutionary revolutions for humans. Like, it
They
didn't.
kind of are, though.
It didn't help our evolution. It did not change our bodies or our body's natural needs in any way.
It kind of did, though.
It changed in a sense where it's
Look at
easier for us.
The necks we have because of our goddamn phones now. Fucking all hunched over and shit.
Yeah,
That's
but
actually one of my questions, by the way.
yeah. So
What are some benefits that you think we could have if we just set technology aside?
what are the
and
benefits?
Just live in a more traditional world like we used to.
Benefit. Well, let me just go to the store and then come back. So this is what I was thinking about. Back in the day, they would just go out in the woods and then for like 3 days track an animal and they kill it and bring it back, right? Like, that's the only time they ate, so they could technically go 36 hours without eating. But then I'm thinking to myself, I was like, these motherfuckers weren't dumb. They lived in these forests. So if they passed by a mango tree and saw a mango on their way while they're chasing the animal, they probably got the mango. You know what I mean? Or the little tiny little cherries here and there, like little strawberries or whatever that grew on the floor of the forest, right? So I figured they did go 36, maybe 48 hours or 36 hours without food, but at the same time, they might have been able to like get food, meaning like get a rabbit or get like little berries here and there, you know what I mean, to eat.
No, but let me ask you this then. Don't you think technology, with its spread of information, that that effect that it has, that everyone just has instant access to information about
You
anything?
do, but it doesn't change your physiology.
I think it definitely has changed our brains. Because the amount of information that all of us in this room know, like, doesn't anywhere near match someone 100 to 150.
Yeah, because
years ago.
it's accessible, but it doesn't mean that people back then were less smart than people
No,
now.
I'm not like saying less smart, but I think that maybe our brains have became more adaptive to that, like intaking that amount of information.
I think our brains always been this.
Okay.
Always been this. It's just now we have more information, which means
I
we
just think
can.
it might be a possibility. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think humans always been smart. The reason I'm saying humans always been smart is because if you educate someone since they're little, like rich people were able to do that for their kids, they came out to be smarter than an average person, right? But because they gave them the information to be smart.
Exactly.
Humans live and learn, and although we're probably the smartest creature on earth.
Well, we are the smartest creature in the sense that we came together, we were able to lift our hand over our shoulders and then throw a spear. That made us dangerous, and then we came into groups. That's where we were able to take down mammoths.
And then we were
like that was it. Otherwise, we're very, very weak in a whole
then
sense.
Later on, I mean, if you really think about it, a germ could kill us. So us being able to have the information to say, hey, maybe don't put unsanitized medical tools in somebody's body if it hasn't been sanitized.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, like, you know, in a sense, just like a big, great white eagle, like bald head eagle, could fuck us up. An eagle could fuck us up. Like you get a big group of fucking crows.
That motherfucker.
You get a big group of crows, they'll fuck. One crow will pick out your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we're in a whole sense. Like when you look at the nature is much stronger than us. Like all of the nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature's king at that point.
Yeah. So that's why when we came together, we were able to like conquer the nature, right? Like we literally conquered everything. There's only 400,000 elephants left. Like we've done literally just dominate.
Left?
I think that's it.
Less, bro.
I don't know. There's a very small number of fucking elephants left in the world because we'll fuck them all up because of the tusks and whatever.
Give us your questions, Miggy.
Yeah, go ahead. But anyway, so I'm gonna keep you filled in if I be able to continue on this, see how I feel and whatnot.
So that first question, like, what are some benefits that you think we could have if we go back to a more traditional way of living?
I think. Have you ever heard the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy"?
Oh yeah.
I think that would take an effect in sense where, or it would take a step back. You'd have a recession in that because you wouldn't have you wouldn't have so many people comparing themselves to others. You would be more secluded to your inner circle and just seeing what's kind of going around you, which also could be a bad thing because you're gonna box yourself in and maybe not progress further. But at the same time, like I said, comparison is a thief of joy.
People are gonna have to start getting their validation from their closer circle.
Exactly.
That's gonna be
validation.
extremely, yeah. Whether it's female or male, you're going to have to start getting validation from closer. You're going to have to relearn how to talk to people. You can't be awkward anymore. When you walk in a room, you're going to have to be able to communicate with people. And a lot of times I find people are like a little more sheltered because they're used to communicating behind their computers and behind their phones.
And they're okay with that. They don't want the other experience.
Exactly. But I think people are going to have a hell of a time. It'll probably take a generation for them to come back to it.
See, but at the same time, I feel like anybody born 2000, maybe 4, 5, beyond, is an iPad kid, right? Like, since they're little, they have the iPad. Me and Miguel, Miguel came here a little bit older than, but like I grew up in the traditional American, like from 0 to 10, you know, knowing what that's like. I didn't have an iPad. I had a fucking old fucking computer that like the monitor was like bigger than this desktop right here.
Yeah.
Right? And it was really fucking slow and shitty, and it was my dad's work computer. It wasn't for me like to be playing with or anything. I used it a little bit.
Growing up, I think I had a Dell Optiplex office computer, and that's what I would spend a big chunk of my time on, just watching anime at night.
But
yeah, I know
what I'm trying to say is
anime at that point it was only anime. It then transitioned into hentai.
So we're old enough, I think I'm old enough, and I'd say for Miguel too, that if you took technology away from us, it wouldn't be as hard as adapt to. You think?
No. Yeah.
But
not.
those
younger, that's what I'm saying. For those young kids that are like 2004, because they're at this point are 20 years old. Like at 2004, 2005, they're almost 20. They're 18, 19, 17. Yeah. Those motherfuckers would need to like literally, like it would take a generation. I don't think they'd be able to.
Like if you, I don't know.
It would take them a generation to go back to humans.
A very basic example that I could be very wrong about, but like give me and Miguel a problem and like, yeah, we'll use YouTube and Google as our solution. But if we don't have that, we'll still try and figure it the fuck out. They're going to be just like, huh, what do I do? YouTube isn't going to tell me? What the fuck do I do?
Yeah, just try to give somebody an IKEA furniture to build.
Without the instructions.
Well, with the instruction, IKEA instructions, give it to them, and they'll be like, I don't know what to do here.
They're gonna have to scan the QR code to get the video.
Hmm.
I hate
Yeah.
I hate building IKEA shit. Anything that I have to build, I fucking hate.
You know what? I started loving IKEA shit after I helped my brother build his kitchen, because his kitchen came in and the instructions were just one paper for for all of the cabinets. Granted, they're all kind of like similar to put together.
Yeah.
Once
Weren't
you
they
did,
Chino cabinets?
huh?
Weren't they Chino cabinets?
Yeah.
They were, right?
Well, mine were Chino. I don't know where he got his.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where he got his, but those motherfuckers, instructions what?
Bro.
And
you know
then
what's the worst?
IKEA, I'm like, thank God for IKEA
You wanna hear the
instructions.
worst one? Chino doors.
Yeah,
Frame doors.
even worse.
That came
Separated.
taken apart.
Oh shit.
Bro, that shit sucked. I had to install, and it was like a whole apartment complex. They wanted us to do all the doors inside and out, because they were, actually no, they were all interior doors, right? All the interior doors of that place. Bro, building each one of those was a fucking bitch. And then like, they bought all the same doors, and they're not all the
They
same
don't
size.
Sams, yeah. So you have to cut in the bottoms.
Cut on the bottoms, cut everywhere, bro. Cut everywhere.
I've done that, cutting on the bottoms of the doors, bro. That's a headache, man.
On that
It's
table
a
saw,
headache.
that shit sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
The bottom isn't as bad as the fucking sides are, though.
Yeah, sides that didn't have to
suck.
cut. But we found that cutting with my brother, cutting with a handsaw, but you have to be super, super exact.
Yeah.
Like you have to go very slow. And what helped us to do it, like taping, we would tape the bottom so it
So
doesn't
that it
like
doesn't fray the edges as
the-
much. Yeah,
doesn't fray the edges and doesn't leave marks on the door.
exactly.
So we would just use the
Yeah, I always
handsaw, and
use
that
the
worked
I've
really
always
well.
used the table saw, sliding table.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it, like you're saying, on the bottom with the table saw, and like one person's got to be holding the long end and the other one's pushing, and you guys got to make sure you're pushing
move together, yeah.
exactly at the same rate. Bro, the amount of times I've had Randy screaming at me in that situation is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Have you tried cutting big tile like that? Jesus Christ.
I haven't had any. We never did any jobs where we had like big tile. And
Yeah.
if we did, it was small jobs, so it wasn't. I don't. think
My
it was
kitchen was a
memorable.
2x4 tiles.
Yeah, that's a
2 feet
fucking
by
tile.
4.
Yeah,
That
that's a big
huge tile. Oh my fucking God, bro.
Yeah.
I think we ruined one whole big tile because it snapped. It snapped because we had to cut the window out.
Yeah.
And it was just like a little U that
Oh,
went
yeah,
into the
yeah,
window.
yeah.
I had to cut that out. Oh my
And
God.
just do a seam in the
Bro,
middle,
we were
yeah.
sweating bullets on the second tile. After we snapped one side of
There's
the first
no
tile.
way you're keeping that little strip there and not breaking it. Yeah, you have to.
Bro,
You have to.
it was just... But anyway, we got
It's
it
all right.
done.
We would have done the same thing and tried to do it.
Yeah.
And figured out real quick.
We got it done finally, but yeah, but I don't know, man. I think I don't know. So I think if we quit technology, it would suck in a sense where you would need to go out of your way to figure out entertainment like you did back in the day. Because right now it's super easy. You pick up your phone, you go on Instagram, you go through reels, right?
Yeah.
Or like you read news.
See,
you have
but
to
I know
go
what
find a
that's like,
newspaper.
too.
Where the fuck would you find a
as a
newspaper
little
now?
kid, I didn't have a smartphone. I knew what it's like to sit in my room and have nothing to do. You just fucking sit there.
Yeah, but then I had Legos, bro. I would like my thing, the way I passed time, I had like random Legos, like the little blocks, and I would
Yeah.
build all day long. I would build airplanes. Airplanes, like different kinds of wings. I would
Yeah.
just build airplanes. I don't know why. I kept building fucking airplanes.
I don't know. I think that'd be interesting, Miggy. I think it would be. I think what's especially interesting would be to see how those boomers adapt, because they've spent all this time learning this technology and implementing it into their lives. For it to be taken away, I think that might fuck them harder than like.
I think they would
millennials.
they would go on the streets and be happy as shit.
You think so?
Yeah, it would be National Gay Parade, but just for boomers, no technology parade. You know what I mean? Like they would be out there just
think
like
so?
partying. They'll create their own flag, bro, because they don't have to deal
See, but
with it.
some of those boomers are playing Candy Crush, bro. They're gonna be pissed when you take that shit away.
Well, then they need to communicate with their wife that they hate now.
Playing slots. I've seen so many people just playing slots on it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
See, the boomers, they don't play solitaire on the table anymore. They've
you know
learned
what
to
I
do it on
found
their
myself
phone.
doing sometimes, and I hate myself for it. I'll be like this on my phone, and I'll be like a boomer with one finger going like this, and then just doing that as opposed to like using one hand.
Yeah.
I'd be like this, and I'm like, oh, dude, you look. Like an old
Anytime I
man.
see someone with their phone like this, you were born before 1990.
Yeah. But then you know,
Or you're just really bored.
but then you know, like I did get this bigger iPhone. I like it, but the next iPhone I'm gonna get it smaller because my hands are just not big enough for
Yeah.
a big one. Like
See,
they're
but
just not.
I'm right there with you.
I like watching too much stuff on my phone, And I'm used to this size already. I've had 2 phones now that are this big, and for like that means I've had phones this big for now like probably 7 years. I'm used to it.
I don't know, man. I don't know how much that size is gonna. Because I had
And
a
these
little one before,
these
and I
little
was
wallets don't fit as good on the small one.
yeah. So I don't know. I'll see, but I'm still gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go down a size. Like I don't know
I
if I
don't blame
want this
you.
big
I
size
thought about it at
anymore.
one point, but I every time I think about it, I remind myself how much I like watching shit on my phone, and that the smaller phone is gonna bother the shit out of me.
You can see I went from watching hella shit on my phone onto big phone, and I don't see that much of a like benefit. Like it's better, it's bigger, but it's not like an iPad. I have an iPad at home, and my iPad, that's my TV, bro. Because I don't have a
Yeah.
TV in the main room. I just watch iPad on YouTube on iPad,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I have that. Anytime I'm at home, I just watch that. You know what I mean? So
What do you guys think about remote working?
remote working, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like we actually talked about this a week ago or so with Eddie.
Less like a few days ago.
Yeah, a few days ago. So remote working, it's a double-edged sword, right? Number one, with remote work, you're not wasting the time of driving back and forth, which sometimes cuts literally 2 hours out of your day, because 1 hour one way, 1 hour back.
Just today alone, we had to drive 45 minutes.
One
there
way.
and then 45 minutes back.
Yeah. So think about it. That's if somebody has to do that every day. So that's 1 hour each way. You're cutting that out so that you can be doing that. Number two, you wake up, you roll out of bed, you throw on shorts. You don't have to dress up for anything. You know what I mean?
Shit, I go with my computer and my underwear.
Yeah, or even do that without a t-shirt. Just sit comfortably, like your food is there. But then what happens when you do that? Because you're home, you're like, oh shit, I need to do laundry. Oh shit, I need to do this. And you're there. So sometimes that can for a lot of people that can take it away
Yeah,
from the
hinges your
actual
productivity.
work. So they found research. I don't know if this is fake because they want people to come back, or is this real. They found that people are actually less productive now when they're staying at home than when they're at work.
That's one cool thing. So with remote work, you have just being able to dress however you want. And that's actually one of the things that I love about my new job is that I can dress like a bum to work and it's great.
I do the same thing, Miguel. I go to
Nobody-
work.
nobody
I
cares.
go in that truck in Crocs,
Bro, this right here, work fit right here.
I wear my old shit.
So-
Even construction shit sometimes that's fucking got old caulking on it. I'll wear it. I don't give a fuck.
You know what I noticed? A lot of the uppity workplaces now, unless there's a meeting, people are not dressing up anymore. Like they're not dressing up. They're just wearing comfortable things such as jeans, like a polo, not even a polo, like a jacket maybe, or a sweater. You know what I mean? There are some people that'll come in like to the nine dressed up in their pantsuit, and they're
Well,
like
I think
whatever.
one thing that's a major reason why we're so laid back is just because it's a very young environment. There's nobody there that's over. I lied. There's one, but there's nobody there over 20, 26.
Yeah.
It's very young. Everybody's very cool. Everybody's very hype.
Bro, I think that's a myth. Like when they say like, oh, older people want you to dress up, that's a myth. Even though, like I'm older than you guys, almost twice older than you, and this is comfortable for me. Like if I could go, I'd go in my Fabletic tracksuit, track pants.
Mm.
I'd go to work if I could do that. You know what I mean?
See, but that's you. That you're like you're not a boomer. You know what I
No.
mean? Boomers are like that. Like
Well-
remember the other day, we were at the restaurant. My aunt took my hat off my head. She's talking about you can't wear hats inside.
Well, there's a thing with that. So there's a thing with that because
I mean, I will say today I did get flamed for wearing some Crocs to the shoot,
I would have worn 'em.
but
So fuck you.
and they made fun of the gibbets. They're like, "What are those things? Gibbets? Gibbets?
oh, so
The
that
fuck?
gibbets, not gibbets.
Gibbets?
Is it a V or a B?
B.
Gibbets.
Yeah,
Gibbet.
What does it stand for?
it's just a
I don't know.
gibbet.
That's what they call the little
That's
Crocs
just the
charms.
name that they
It's
gave
the
it.
Yeah,
charm.
I would wonder where that came from. Like, why did you
Okay.
gibbet? Yeah,
I don't know. That's what Croc named it.
yeah, Croc charms.
But there's charms. That's what they really
Yeah.
are. They're like fucking shoe charms. This is what they are.
Mm.
So when you get some Crocs, bro?
Not.
No.
I put them on. They're not my thing. They're not comfortable. I much rather wear the Ultra Boost all day long than I wear Crocs.
No. So see, the Ultra Boosts are more comfortable if you're actually gonna be walking around and like doing stuff. You're gonna walk for a long period of time. But the Crocs are nice, man. You just slip them on and walk out, do your thing.
Nah, I
They're-
wear my
they're-
flip flops.
See, they're the most versatile shoe/sandal I have.
Flip flops, bro. You just never had
Go
comfortable
karting.
flip flops.
Go karting. Oh, gotta wear closed-toed shoes. I put on my Crocs, bitch.
No, Sorry.
All that. Boating. Put on my Crocs.
Not doing it.
Work. Put on my Crocs.
Not doing it. I'm just not getting Crocs, bro. It's not my thing. It's not my. I had Crocs, like they were not Crocs, but they were Tevia. They were big the same way. My foot always fucking sweat in them. Like I don't
Well,
like.
I always wear socks.
Yeah, I wear
with
socks.
my
Yeah, I
Crocs.
don't wear. See, that's the thing. My thing is I don't wear socks with shoes like that.
Yeah.
I use them
And
like
it's usually-
slides.
yeah.
So I always wear mine.
Yeah, I always
socks.
like see sometimes you'll catch me with no socks on. Like for
True.
example, like when we just came home from jujitsu, I wasn't gonna put my socks back on to go home, and I just put them on and went home. But most of the time, I always put socks on because of that. Because for example, when I wore sandals, when I never really wore sandals, when I wore slides before Crocs, I always put socks on because I hated how dirty my feet would get. Just walking around with sandals, which I find so weird that most girls walk around with sandals. But then, like, I'll look at Emily's feet. I'm curious. I'm like, are your feet dirty because you're fucking wearing sandals today? And Emily's feet are like brand new. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't get
That's
it.
literally you walking not on grass. You walking like literally you have to go out of way, choose normal paths that don't have dirt and
I'm
shit
not
on
used
them.
to doing that.
Yeah, you just go through grass, through all of that's why.
Yeah.
Like once you eliminate that, you're good. Like your feet
Yeah.
are clean.
Right.
And then once you don't get your Crocs dirty, your feet are not dirty. But then every so often you gotta wash them motherfuckers. That's why I like the rubber Crocs where I can just wash them bitches. You throw it in the shower while you showering, all that soap goes on top. You rinse that shit off, throw
That's
it
what I
outside,
do.
dry it out.
Anytime
ready
my
to go.
Crocs are dirty to the point where like I need to just wash them, I literally just put them in the shower.
That's why I like my Havana flip flops, bro. Those are full rubber, bro. Just throw it in the shower, done,
exactly.
ready to go.
What are your guys' thoughts on the role of luck versus hard work in achieving success?
Roll of
Luck. So a lot of people have different perceptions on luck. I think that the only way I think of luck is preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah,
That's a good way to think about
Preparation meets opportunity. So no matter how lucky you think you are, if you don't prepare for the situation, you're not gonna make anything out of it.
see, it's remember that example I gave you the other day. Like if I would have told you how many red cars you saw today, you would not know. But if I told you, if I give you $50 tomorrow, tell me how many red cars you saw, you would fucking sit there and count, right?
it. I
So if
don't,
you-
I don't remember that. I actually, never mind. I think you might have said it. Yeah. I think I started remembering it.
Yeah, so the point is this, like if I'm telling you, let's talk about this. If I'm telling you AI is the next big thing, learn how to program, right? You learn how to program, you understand AI for whatever reason, right?
And then when it blows up, they're like, "Oh, he was lucky."
Yeah,
No,
he was
he was
not
fucking
lucky. He
lucky.
just prepared for it because he knew that's the $50 that he's gonna see later down the road, right?
Mhm.
So
True.
that's what it is. So it is hard work that pays off eventually, right?
I think that when people say luck, and like, I just look at it as coincidence.
Yeah, it's usually coincidence, but then you have to be able to recognize that, right? Like again, the red car situation. If I then tell you see the red car, you're not gonna see it. But if you like actively work towards seeing the red car, you're gonna see it's gonna come up eventually. It's gonna come up.
Preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, it's statistics, you
no
know?
other way to put it, really.
Yeah, odds are gonna come up.
Now, if you tell me that, do I have to have the exact amount of red cars that I saw? That could be wrong.
Well, he wouldn't know. He's not
I
gonna
wouldn't
if
know.
you're lying.
I wouldn't know. That's the beauty of it. I wouldn't know because now you know to look out for red cars. So that's the same thing. You learn something, you're doing something, and now you know to look out for that opportunity when it comes up. When it does come up, you're the first one in line. Hey, I know how to do this.
In that case,
And now you're the one that's making the money.
I'm just trying to break your example here, but I could literally just be prepared and just call your bluff and say, "Oh, I saw 5 cars."
Mhm.
Yeah, I was counting the cars today.
Was it luck? Or
Yeah,
was
I mean,
it just
that example,
preparation?
that example doesn't stretch to the full terms of the meeting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I'm just trying to break it. I'm just trying to break it. That's
Yeah.
all it
what
is.
the fuck with you, Jay?
No, I know. Failed attempt.
What are your guys' experience?
By the way, guys, sorry, Miggy. I want to put this out early. I don't want to wait to the rest of the show, guys. Vitality, if you spam it in a chat, Vitality, you get that 1 credit. Go get that modality in. If
it's exclamation mark vitality, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're really serious about it, get that credit and do the cold tap. I want to see you do the cold tap because that's gonna change your life.
Tag us on your story.
It's gonna show you what kind of a man or a woman you are once you go into that cold tap, right?
By those standards, I am nothing. Because
By the way, official sponsor for us, Vitality. Thanks, guys. Vitality at Vitality.
What are you guys' experience with practicing mindfulness in your everyday life? Do you think it brings any benefits?
Absolutely. Uh, I've been practicing this thing, which I mean, I guess I'll recognize it now as like I almost look at myself from an outside view and examine the situation, and that a lot of times helps me get more productive, problem solving done. Um, Kind of just stepping back from the stress, because I'm so fucking stressed out right now with the business and stuff and things that are going around in life. Just kind of like literally sucking myself out of my body and being like, okay, what's going on? Let's fix this problem right here, right now. What's going on? Forget about the other stuff. And like you're saying, being mindful. Because everyone goes into autopilot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's just in their own world. Everybody thinks a lot about themselves. They don't really care about other people. You
See,
can see that every day in the road.
I'm very in my brain. I'm very conscious with, especially with my family, about what's going on with them. Like I'm always constantly thinking about my father and Emily, my mom, my sisters, even fucking you guys sometimes, and like what's going on in their lives. And it kind of just always reminds me, at the end of the day, none of us would trade our shit for another person's.
True.
Mhm.
None of us.
That's true.
And that's another thing that when being mindful keeps me up spirited.
Grounded.
So my thing is, I don't think of it as mindfulness, right? And I'll tell you, because every day I do one thing, and every day try to be consistent on an everyday basis. That's jujitsu. When I'm there, my mind is turned off completely. I don't think about anything. That's why I call it my reset button, right? Like it just, for those 2 hours, everything fucking just floats away. Nothing matters. It's just you and the mat and your opponent, and that's that.
That's why I feel like sometimes I need that shit, man. Like today, like I'm still recovering from the nose and stuff, but I felt good when I woke up.
Yeah.
So that's why, and it was a stressful day at work, and so that's why I was like, "Fuck it, man, I need to go jujitsu." And that's why when you said when you texted me, and I was like, I don't know, maybe because of me not feeling that good, and also I didn't know what time I was gonna get off work, but man, I needed that shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. I don't look at it as mindfulness. I don't look at it as meditation, but that's what it becomes, that, right? Like a lot of people are able to do that with their work. I don't know if you'll ever get to your point with your new job because you like doing what you're doing, and like a lot of people get in a flow, and that's their mindfulness, right? Like that's their Zen moment, you know. Um, no matter how much you like something, you always need to take a break, right? Like even the things that I love, like
That's gonna
jujitsu.
kind of transition into my next question, which is like having a good balance in your everyday life, and when is it too much?
So it will get too much. Even I like jujitsu, it's my rest button, but this past week I wasn't rolling, and I think that was a good thing. Even though I wanted to roll, but it was a good thing as far as like me taking back, relaxing, because that helped my body recover, and now I want to be there again. Like you know what I mean? I want to roll. Like I want to be there again. So you always need to take breaks. Like breaks are important. No matter how much you like something, breaks are fucking
It's
important.
funny. It's funny you say that
Because you don't want to
because
hate it.
I think that was gonna be my same response too. Is your body will tell you a lot of times, whether it's your brain mentally or even physically. Like he says with the how he felt last week, and I've been going to class and doing some drilling, but I've been rolling less and trying to recover my rib, which is a balancing. Like your body will tell you, and then there's also the mental factor, right? Like if for me example, I'm very stressed out, so I need my jujitsu right now. But on the other hand, when it starts to go the other way, and if my body's too stressed out, maybe I need to take a break, and my mind can tolerate the break because it's not so stressed out. Things like that.
True. What's the technology that you guys are excited about, like for the future?
You know what I
Or,
really
like,
have been
that
looking into?
excites you and maybe has a potential impact on
You know what's
society?
funny? You say that, and I actually have an article for us about the new Neuralink patient. His some updates on the
Oh, we have
Neuralink.
updates on it.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone. He hasn't.
He's fucking controlling a computer, bro.
What?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I posted it in the Discord.
Was he the reason
General Public?
ChatGPT went haywire?
Scroll up a little bit. Right there.
Yeah, let's pull this up.
So this is something I'm excited about because when I first heard about it, I was like, I've said this many times. I was like, damn, this is gonna be cool. I can control my fucking computer, my TV and shit without moving a fucking finger. But then I heard Elon Musk's initial intention with this, which is to use it in the medical field. And that's when I was like, yo, that is legit. Because they're telling me someone that fucking couldn't walk
Not can walk.
that can walk.
Hmm.
Or someone who, bro, walk? Someone who couldn't see or hear might be able to see or hear now. That to me is fucking mind blowing, mind blowing, mind blowing.
But
Because
that's the
I
only.
always, as a little kid, thought to myself, yo, we gotta do something to help these people. Even as a little kid, I was like, we can fucking solve a broken arm. We can solve a broken leg. You can fucking, your heart can go out right now. We might be able to fix that. But eyes, ears, something goes wrong there, and there's nothing you can
See,
do.
the thing with
Really,
him.
the thing with organs is that, for example, I was just talking with my uncle. He came down from Texas, and he was like, "Yeah, I had a surgery for my heart attacks that I had or whatever, but the doctor still says at the bottom of my heart it doesn't work because
Right.
it's kind of just died out. It doesn't. There hasn't been enough blood on there. It doesn't work. It doesn't have its proper function.
Yeah.
But he's feeling better. He did get a big scare. He stopped smoking, stopped drinking, so that's a realization that he came to.
Well, I hope he does better.
So for Elon Musk, I think he killed two birds with one stone because he couldn't just put this out there and said, "Well, you'll be able to control the mouse and this and that." A lot of people have been, "Whoa!"
Well, so this is.
But now he's like, "Well, if we push it for medical use, now then we can apply it to
I
something
think
else."
it wasn't just him initially saying that. I think that the whole reason, because I saw an article actually where he was talking about this, where he kind of understood this is such a high risk thing I'm trying to implement that we're gonna need some like
Some leeway.
some big problems that I'm gonna need to solve for them to say, okay, like high risk
But
thing.
this is how it came around. You know how it came around, right? Like when I was reading the book, he was typing something, and in his head is like, "This is taking too fucking long.
Yeah.
What if I wish I could just like think it and it would type for me."
Yeah,
That's
but-
how Neuralink
But
came
it
around.
came along that way, right? That's how the mind sparked in his idea. But he kind of understood that the only way I'm going to be able to push this across is by solving more than just more than
Me
a
then
basic
being
problem
able to text,
than me
yeah.
being able to text. I need to push this in a way that if they're going to go, oh shit, it's high risk, but look at the stuff he's trying to fix. It's worth the risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So-
he knew those are the only people that will say, "Well, like I'm already not walking. What's like worst that's gonna happen?" You know.
not going
Like,
to
at
ruin
least-
my eyes anymore.
Yeah.
Can't fucking see anyways.
At least there's a little bit of hope now that it's a 50-50 chance.
Now there is still the
complications
risk
and
of the
stuff.
stuff they got to do in your brain,
Yeah.
which could, I mean, technically kill you. You're fucking with someone's brain, and you got to go in their brain stem and shit. But the fact that he is looking to solve problems like this is what allowed him to even get this shit going.
Well, read the article a little bit. Let's see what's going on with this.
because they're apparently being able to control like a
Oh,
computer
we
mouse.
can't read the article because they want us to pay, motherfuckers.
True. Well,
There goes that.
Well, guys, the only update we can give you is that the new guy that has this Neuralink chip can now control a computer mouse with their mind.
which is still very, very good news.
Yeah, I mean that's enough right there. I don't really think we need to even know anything else, to be honest.
What else you got in there on the agenda, Miggy? Fresh.
More tech. If you want to stay on the technology thing, I have another article about what's it called? I mean, we don't even have to look at it. Actually, no, it's not an article. I just screenshotted it. So apparently, Samsung. You guys know Samsung came out with their ring.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
match the Aura ring.
Talking
Apparently,
about that.
Apple is apparently going to get into that.
Oh yeah,
business
yeah.
as well.
Apple already patented the ring a couple of years back. So Apple's
really?
Apple's been in that. But I do have a ring article specifically about rings. If you go to Discord, you can pull it up. It's talking about if you've had a ring.
These will be in
go
mod
down,
chat.
go
Probably.
go down, go down, go down. Yeah, go down a little bit more. You'll see a bunch of rings there.
Right there. Go up.
Yeah. So this is talking about if you wear smart rings for many years, these are the things that you should know, right? Like so. These are the things, and I've been looking at the ring as opposed to because I don't. You guys know I don't wear an Apple Watch, right? So the ring would have been another way of going about it, right?
That's the same reason I'm interested in the ring because you're not gonna see me wear an
Mm-hmm.
Apple Watch again, guys. Not when I have this.
So I wanted to see what this article is about. So the one thing it said there, get a sizing so you get the proper size. What do you want from a smart ring? Okay, I understand. Is he going to talk about the drawbacks of this? More than anything, I want to see if there are any drawbacks to wearing something like that electronic on your finger 24/7, right?
So the last section, it looks like it is. Here, I got you, Mickey. Consider long-term costs. Keep going. There you go. Consider long-term costs. The Aura ring, we consider the best ring we can get around at the moment. Comes with the requirement of a paying ongoing subscription to access the app. It costs $6 per month on top of the $299 for the initial cost of the ring. It looks like there are some other brands like Ringcon Smart Ring, Ultra Human Ring Air, and Circular Ring Slim do not have subscriptions tied to the app. You pay one price for the hardware, and that's all. See, I'm interested in more of that because the Aura Ring thing, $6 a month to fucking have access to the app when I already paid you $300. That sounds kind of fucking wild,
I want to make sure nothing leaks.
bro. Fucking throw it in there. No one wants to pay a subscription. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, people are allergic to subscriptions. That's for sure.
How do you guys think the advancement of robotics would shape the future of work and everyday life?
I think that we've already gotten to the point where robotics are like
Like,
at its.
Tesla just
That is
invented
tough.
the robot. Like they've
You
implemented.
guys haven't
that.
seen the videos of that fucking robot doing backflips,
Mm-mm.
bro. They have this robot, this robot that they've taught.
Boston Dynamics.
Yes, I think that's. I think you're right. So they've taught this fucking robot. It's from the point where it can go from like sitting up from a chair, right?
Yeah,
It can
yeah.
just simply standing up. To the point where it did backflips. Now that shit is doing American Ninja Warrior courses,
Yeah,
bro.
right there.
Look at that shit. It literally looks like an AI, but that's fucking real.
Mm-hmm. That's Boston Dynamics robots. Yeah, they've been messing with
Look
robots
at
for a
this
minute
shit,
now.
bro. Backflips.
Yo, that would be a scary sight.
And then
to
you
see.
know you guys ever watched American Ninja Warrior? You know the first part where where it's like the
little
angled steps?
Yeah.
They do that shit. These motherfuckers can do that shit. I've seen it.
Without failure.
Bro, perfect. This motherfucker went through the course A+, bro. He got an S. Fucking matter of fact.
All right, this is gonna be a question
You
more.
got the plaid.
This is gonna be a question more aimed for Jay.
Hey,
But
what did I do?
no, it's just more along your, what's it called?
Profession?
Yeah,
Expertise.
like what is the role of blockchain technology in revolutionizing
Okay.
industries like finance, supply chain, and healthcare?
So
Ooh, that's actually a good one for you, Jay.
blockchain technology itself, not the coins, but the technology itself is super, super interesting, right? The way it's designed. It is the cool part about it is there's one person does not control it, right? But by understanding blockchain technology, a lot of the companies are creating their own blockchain technology to put some of their stuff on it, right? It's a new way of, the basic way I can say it is a new way of storing data and getting things done quickly, right? Now, blockchain technology came into effect as a way of paying someone something. Yeah, it's meta recording of information that makes it impossible or difficult for a system to be changed, hacked, or manipulated. Why? Because there's so many involved hands. There's so many checks and balances that it's very hard for manipulation, right? Now, as far as the finance goes, by implementing a blockchain technology, right now, if you wanted to transfer money from here to, let's say, Singapore, you probably won't be able to because our banks are closed, their banks are open. So you would need to start transferring the money from somewhere that the banks are open and then go around the world, transferring from one bank to another bank to another bank, crossing time zones to get it there, right?
Spending
With
a bunch of
blockchain
money.
technology, you don't have that. It's 24/7 and it's instantaneous. Instantaneous. There's no lag.
So you could say it's almost like an advancement in the sense of how credit cards were an advancement to physical money.
Yeah, so for example, when you use a credit card, it hits your credit card immediately, but it doesn't really, it gives the charge on your credit card, but it doesn't count towards your credit card yet until a day or two into it.
Yes.
Same thing when you return something, it doesn't hit your account right away until a day or two afterwards. You want to transfer money from here to Europe, right? When you make the transfer, it's going to take 2-3 days, sometimes a week to see why is this money moving. You understand what I'm saying?
Versus with this blockchain, you basically have Zelle for rich people.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
just like, bink.
And it's there. And you can transfer them huge amounts of money, no problem. Now, with that being said, there is no control of it, right? But here's the issue. Most governments like to control their money. The reason they say they want to control their money is because of the tax purposes, because they want everybody to pay taxes. In my opinion, there's a little bit more to it than just the taxes, right? If it was just the taxes, it wouldn't be as crazy. I think there's a little more to it. They kind of want to know who's moving money from where to where for what reason, right? And it involves a lot of things: taxes, illegal activity,
I was about to
things
say
like that.
crime, right? What am I
Crime,
gonna say?
and also they don't want somebody having a lot of money. When you do have a lot of money, what comes with money? With money comes power, because you don't just make this money.
More problems too.
More money, more problems, but more money, more power too, because you don't just make this money by you being yourself. You have to make friends that are going to help you make this money, right? You have to have connections. When you start having connections, you start having political pools. You start having things like that. So this directly
Do you think?
contradicts
do
to
you-
someone's role that's already doing it.
Do you think being a good storyteller helps?
Being a best salesmen are the best storytellers ever, because they have to be able to appeal to your emotion, then appeal to your logic, then appeal back to your emotion, then back to your logic, get you in this turmoil and get you to buy something, right? The storytelling is it. If you're a good storyteller, you're probably the center of the attention, always.
You know what I've noticed has made me a better storyteller, which I feel like I'm still a pretty shit one, but trying to get better, is trying to acknowledge as much as the information that might just be bullshit, not necessary. Right? So people want to hear the nitty gritty shit and go like not nitty gritty. So sorry, they don't want to hear the nitty gritty. They don't want to hear the filler. You know what I mean? They want to hear the meat of the sandwich. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that I feel like has helped me make better storyteller is my stories used to be fucking triple the length they could have been.
It's
because I
because
was
you
just
want to.
telling too much.
But you know where the real skill comes in is when you build that give it, and they're like into it. They get,
It's when you
you're like
build-
waiting for the
it's when
cliffhanger.
you-
Where's the cliffhanger? You know, because
Punchline,
you're constantly
bro.
keeping them on a
Punchline.
cliff.
It's
Huh?
building. It's building that
comedian, like a
tension and then
It's
releasing
bidding
it.
the tension, releasing, building the tension and releasing. I think the good storytellers, that's what they're good at. They're just interesting people to talk to. And that comes from being worldly, right? Being able to talk to multiple subjects. That humanities class that nobody liked in college.
I liked it.
Yeah, that
My professor was cool, so
yeah, most
helps.
professors need to be cool to teach a humanities class, right? But why? Because most people don't like why the fuck am I gonna use this? Blah blah blah. But you sitting down and being able to talk fucking about David's statue, that's something like, why does this guy know about David's statue? Like, I don't know about David's statue, because most people are keen to know things. Most people are curious. They want to know things, right? Like just like little children, they want to know why. So you should be able to explain the why, but in the sense that it's going to keep their attention going, right? So
I think I already know your answer. But do you think it's important to be a lifelong learner and always be learning something?
yes, 100%.
The day you think you know everything is the day you're an asshole.
And then what happens? This is the funniest shit happens. The more you start learning, the more you start reading, the more you start understanding you don't know shit, and the more you start understanding that like life is a balance. It's not just white and black. It's always fucking gray, right? It's always in the middle. You go a little bit to the black side. Now the white is lacking. You go towards the white side. The white is now the black is lacking. So you always have to be in a balance, right? Like the best example I can give you is like if you're rich and you have kids, right? To your kids, they can have absolutely everything, but then they're not going to know the value of the money, right? But then you're extremely poor and you don't have any money, you don't give anything to your kids, then your kids not going to understand how money works. So it always has to be a balance, right? Like it's better be rich, but then teach your kids how to earn this money than be poor and then try to teach your kids how to earn money because you yourself don't know how to do it, right? So the best thing is for you to go to the extreme to get the money, but understand that the gray is where it's at, not for majority of people.
So, you know, it's interesting you bring that up, Miggy. So I suffered from thinking I was too smart when I was younger, in the sense where
I think everyone is that.
Well,
Too intelligent, too smart.
no, I think that
You get to a point where
I looked
you
at-
realize that you're not.
exactly. I looked at myself as over my peers, in the sense of where I thought I was smarter than the people my age and more advanced and this and all these things, right? And that was due to the fact that I did hang around with mostly people above my age, so I was more mature, and I was a little bit smarter than other people. I was advanced in grades. I was into a lot of things that other people weren't learning. No one knew about cars when I was in high school. All these things, right? But then it got to the point where I completely flipped that. Now I put myself as the dumbest person in the room. I want to learn. I want to just strictly learn. Even though when sometimes I realize, oh, this motherfucker's stupid, I still just keep on my humble vibes and learn.
And you know what?
You know what's something that I ran into today? Today, my mom called me and I was on my way to from work, and she's like, "Hey, I need a power steering fluid." And I'm like, "Okay." So she's got to figure it out. She talked to somebody. She didn't fucking know anything. She did have a power steering leak supposedly because the thing was fucking empty.
Yeah.
So we went to AutoZone. And
They have a stop leak one. Did you get that one?
yes.
Okay, good.
And I got there and I'm like, "Look, I thought you had this shit figured out. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know shit about cars." She pulls out the dipstick. It's dry. And I'm like, "Well, I don't even know how much you're going to fucking fill this to because, again, I don't fucking know."
Yeah.
So I had to do a little bit of research on just what fluid to get.
Right.
Brake fluid?
Yeah. And we just filled that bitch up.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
brake
there's
fluid.
the-
Not brake fluid.
There's
Power steering.
it's brake fluid.
No, power steering.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's basically brake
Not
fluid.
not all cars are like that.
No?
So Jay is talking about.
I did get an answer.
I'm talking
that
about my Honda.
Honda's specific is different.
Yeah, so a lot of cars use all .3 or .5, whatever.
I don't know, but the
.3 or
one that I got
.5
was pretty
brake
much
fluid is the
universal,
same
and then
fluid.
right next to it was the one for Hondas.
It's the same shit you use in your power steering.
Bro,
A
you
lot of
want to
cars.
hear something fucking funny talking about power steering fluid and brake
It's just a
fluid?
hydraulic fluid, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear
But my
something?
point was that I still had to go out of my way to learn something.
Good.
Yeah. So I want to
Always
bring
be
you
okay
back.
with
I want to
that.
bring you back to this.
Always be okay with
I
that.
hate
Never
it.
think you're above that. You gotta pass it on to someone
I
else.
fucking hate it.
But it's good.
So
Become more humble.
I was dating this girl, right? And one day I come out and my car is scratched, keyed. It's like, what the fuck? And I would always park in this spot. And I knew there was this Camaro that always wanted that spot. And they would never, because they would always come in and park that spot whenever I wasn't there. Right? So I was like, this motherfucker. Because I was parked and then he was parked next to me because I knew he was always wanted that one specific spot. So I was like, this motherfucker keyed my car. I looked it up. How can I fucking do something back, right? I looked at eggs, bologna. You know, apparently if you throw eggs and they bake on the sun, it's fucking done. Paint is fucked.
Oh,
If you
shit.
throw a bologna, it's fucked. And then I discovered that you can do the same thing with the brake fluid. So I went and fucking bought brake fluid, fucking sprayed it allegedly on this car. I told her, I was like, this motherfucker keyed my car, blah, 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 sprayed it. And then years passed. I
She
broke up
keyed
with
your
this
car.
girl. And I was like, listen, let me ask you something, but I need you to be very honest. I was like, remember that fucking car that was keyed? Did you fucking do it? She's like, yes, I did it. I was pissed at you and I keyed it. I was like, you fucking... You the C word.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a car.
You made me put brake fluid on someone's car, if effectively maybe ruining their pain down the road,
Made me?
and you didn't have
Made
the
me,
fucking
Jay?
balls.
Made me?
You didn't
She enticed you to, because she didn't fucking tell you she
Yeah,
did it.
and you didn't have
She
the
definitely
balls to
enticed
tell
you.
me
You didn't
you
fucking
did
make
it.
you, Jay. You went and vandalized someone's car allegedly on your fucking self.
Yeah, bro, I'm like, you fucking coward. Now you make me feel like shit because of you. I was like, I'm glad I fucking no longer with
good
you.
part, Jay, is by the time the podcast is big enough for this guy to see this,
God won't have the car. He won't even know.
Yeah,
He won't even know what
We'll
happened.
have the money to fucking.
He would
pay
just
him.
think
It's
it's
alright.
Florida
We'll
sun
buy
because it
him
was
a-
parking it
We'll buy
outside.
him a new Camaro.
No, we ain't buying him shit. Prove it, motherfucker.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But yeah, talking about the brake fluids, that's the brake fluid story.
I think I had some car stuff in the Discord. No, I know
There's a
I
bunch of
posted
cars.
watches
There's some
shit.
going on within the car industry. I don't know if there was a car show or something like that. See,
Bro, wait. Actually,
there's
I have
this new
some
hybrid
I have
engine.
I have some news for our Formula One people. I cannot fucking believe we had
Ferrari
another
lost?
drain cover
Yeah,
fucking come loose. So did you hear about that?
Ferrari lost. Fucking Hamilton.
No. So Verstappen was the fastest, and they were just doing practice. It was
Mhm.
practice for the season. That's all that's happening. It's practice sessions. But so in this season, the prior season, 2023, right? There was a drain cover that came loose. I don't remember at what Grand Prix, but a drain cover
From
came
what track?
loose and wrecked. I think it was a Ferrari. Wrecked it. Apparently, it fucked up one of the battery modules on the bottom of the car, or something like that happened. And Ferrari actually, because what happens is they only give you a certain number of parts you're allowed to use, right? So for this part, Ferrari had already gone through their 2 for the year, and they were gonna have to replace this one from the drain cover. This fucking drain cover just fucking, when it went over it, the vacuum from the fucking downforce that shit has in those cars fucking pulled that shit up, and it just wrecked the fucking car. And basically, Ferrari, I think they did like an appeal or whatever, like, hey, like, we need to replace this, but we shouldn't receive penalty on replacing this because it's not our fucking fault. And for them to be able to do that, all the teams had to agree, and apparently all of them agreed except for one,
Who?
and their thing is Mercedes. I think that's what it was, Mercedes or Red Bull. I think it was Mercedes though. That didn't allow them or whatever. Anyways, apparently another drain cover went loose today. I think it was yesterday at practice. And yeah, so I think that's gonna be a new thing happening in Formula One, where you gotta dodge the fucking drain covers at this point.
Or they just build drain covers differently.
But this is the thing.
They redo
Well,
the
this
drain.
is the thing. This is all fucking. A lot of these Grand Prix are on fucking the street. That's the whole thing, right? So, but my thing is fuck, man. You've got these millions of dollars worth of cars. In reality, with the 20 cars, you got probably hundreds of millions
Mm-hmm.
of dollars rolling around this track, and you got fucking drain covers wrecking these shits. That's fucking ridiculous, if you ask me.
It is ridiculous.
Like, fucking do something about it.
It would be hell of race to watch though, because I mean
I mean, it was definitely
everyone
a oh
watches-
shit moment when it happened to that
I mean-
Ferrari.
I mean, everyone watches the races not for the races who's gonna win. Everyone watches the races for the wrecks. I do at least.
So, if I will say this, if you watch Formula One, it's like like just for me, I haven't watched for very long, right? Basically, just watched like the back half of the season, and then I've experienced a bunch because of Arthur and my dad, sitting with them. But man, anytime the race starts, that first corner, it's like a 50-50 chance it's gonna be a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that 3D printing?
I need to say something for my nose.
It's still.
I'll make it last.
Go ahead.
Do you think that 3D printing could potentially disrupt manufacturing?
They've
And,
tried.
and then lead to
They adopt it.
just
All of these companies adopted
personal
it.
use.
All of these companies have adopted it.
So right now,
I've seen
I-
companies like fucking Philips and shit like this. They've got these industrial 3D printers, bro, that print crazy amounts of these
Are
things at once.
they-
They're using that shit.
Are
bro.
they printing like parts for cars?
I'm
I
sure
don't know,
they're gonna start doing that shit, bro.
I
well,
mean,
they're printing houses.
it's getting
now,
to the
so-
Bro, they're
point
printing
where,
parts
where
for
we're
everything.
able to do 3D printing of metals as well.
Yes,
You can
they're
print
already
it-
working on
You
that.
can not work. You can do it.
You can do it
You
already.
can print. You can 3D print with titanium, bro.
Oh shit! That's
So there's
cool.
these fucking special 3D printers. I think they cost like $100,000 or whatever, right? Crazy expensive. But think of it this way: it looks just like a normal 3D printer, right? It heats the fucking plastic into a specific shape
Yeah,
and
he's the
sprays it out.
titanium, yeah.
Bro, you put this titanium powder in that shit, and it fucking melts that shit and puts it in the specific shape. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. Because I know they're doing houses with cement. Those
Yeah.
houses look hella weird
And that's
from
they've
inside.
been doing that for like 5
Yeah.
years already. The
Ex-
moment 3D printing came in, it was like, oh shit, big boom. You saw those industrial fucking big ass crane 3D printers with the cement milling those houses, man.
The thing is, it's so number one, it's kind of slow so right now, and it's kind of expensive right now for mass market. But you can't see. Here's the thing: a normal for us, normal humans, it's kind of a like a, it's almost like a you don't have a use for it except for fun, right? Because why? Because you need a map of whatever it is that you're printing. So let's say a piece of microphone just broke and we need to print it. We won't be able to, most likely, because there is no map for it, no part for it that we can feed it to the computer, unless we figure out how to do that
But
easily.
there's people that are creating those, aren't they? They're creating templates.
They are creating templates, but like, you know how many templates you need for everyday things? There's just too many things, too many parts for you to create a template. So if there's an easier way for you to create a template, like if there's some sort of a equipment that will map the template and create it identical, then that would be super easy to implement on mass use. Let's say you scan it, it gives you the exact shape, boom, feeds it to the computer. Now it's back gone. So if you can eliminate the part where you have to go and search what you want to print and then load that file in and print it, I think that'll become mass market. So that's solving that problem
That's true.
will be the
industrial machines already do have that. I mean, I already used to see that at my previous work, not for 3D printing per se, but you had the machines that could cut the wire, right? And you'd be able to save, instead of having to look up that online, you could actually save whatever plan or cutting distance in this sense already on the machine, readily available for you.
yeah,
to
and just
hit
recall it.
Yeah, hit the button, put the wire in, and cut it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So an engineer had to go in and design that, right? Like, so because an engineer has to go in and design it, not everybody understands these software. So mass use, they're not gonna be able to do it. But if they come up with a scanner that can scan everything and perfectly tell you exactly what it is, that's game over. That's mass market right there.
What are we talking about? Scanner for what?
3D printing scanner, because the biggest
Scanner,
challenge.
what you mean?
Biggest challenge I see. So let's say if I want to print this specific bottle, I would need to have a 3D scan of it, like a file of it to print this bottle.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't have a file of this and there's no file available for me to download, I can't print this bottle. But if I could get a scanner that would scan this bottle and tell me exactly what the dimensions are
You
and
have that.
feed it to the computer,
They have that.
they do have that already?
They use it for cars. They scan body panels to make like custom body kits, but to see exactly the dimensions of the car and everything. They could do that with
But the
stuff.
body panel is already created, so they're taking the...
No, they're not using predetermined stuff. they're basically taking these scanners and running them along the side of the fenders of the cars to see the exact dimensions on how they're gonna fit this kit. So
From the
they could do that.
side,
Yeah.
from the side, right? To fit the kit because it fits from outside, right?
Still though, if they could do it, it's 3D, bro.
What I'm saying is it would scan the outside, but then you need to scan the inside as well.
So yes, in that sense, you would have to go
That's
into
what
the
I'm
program
saying.
yourself and hollow it out yourself.
That's what I'm saying. So the whole thing is you figuring out figuring out a way to scan it.
We'll figure out fucking time travel before I could scan the inside of that bottle without.
Then that's what I'm saying. So for it to become a mass market, that's what they need to do because majority of people don't know how to use these apps.
Yeah, but the
Hollow it
majority of
out, do
people aren't
this.
manufacturing stuff.
No. But he was thinking about like how do you
I was
go
thinking
mass
about-
market? Like everyday house has a printer in there
Yeah,
because
if it could
XYZ
if it
breaking,
could
you just print it real quick.
disrupt basically.
It's that easy, bro.
yeah.
It's not as easy as Jay's saying, but it's as easy as saying I want to be a gamer and I want to build my own PC. Doing the research. Oh, I gotta get this part. I gotta get this part. This goes here. This goes there. It's as easy as that. Arthur does it. Natalie does it. They're special, but they're not special in that sense. Like that. I mean, Arthur is an engineer, but like it's not nothing crazy for you to learn.
I was playing Overwatch the other day with the buddies at work, and
Overwatch is fun.
I got called autistic because I was playing too well, and I was like, "That's funny." I'll take it.
should
What do you use?
They called you
I was playing
artistic.
Tracer because I was dashing all over the place and like, dude, you can play Tracer? You're fucking autistic.
You're artistic.
Autistic.
Oh,
I don't know what I forgot his name. The fucking robot that's just a tank.
Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah.
He is broken in Overwatch 2.
He's always been broken
no,
in
no, no, no,
Overwatch
no,
2.
no, no, no. Before,
Bro,
before he would
listen,
sit
listen.
down and he would shoot and he'd be annoying. Now he's actually a tank. That's one of his abilities,
Listen.
not his ultimate.
Oh, so listen. I played Overwatch 2. I have maybe 12 hours in the game.
Gamer.
And I was going in there and being top of leaderboard with that motherfucker when Overwatch 2 first came out.
Try playing comp.
Yeah, I know that's not happening.
Comp is a little bit
But
different.
Overwatch 2 is one of those games where I played a little bit and I was like, damn, this is fun. But nobody else kept playing after, so I didn't really play.
It's really, really, really not fun to play by yourself.
Yeah,
I
no.
definitely would
You need the team aspect.
recommend playing with other people.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about 5G, and what do you think are gonna be some new improvements to like 6G?
I don't know. Man.
and 6G is coming, but like
What is the speed for 5G right now? What are our-
250 gig, 250 megs, I think. It's stupid fast.
20 gigabits per second.
Dude, yeah,
peak data
right.
rates and 100 plus megabits per second average data rates.
So it does pretty good, more than some of the fucking old Wi-Fi's back in
It's
the day.
designed to support a 100-time increase in traffic capacity and network efficiency.
Bro, what are you talking about? Look, it's saying
5G was mainly developed.
No, no.
It initially got tested in bigger cities, and people would be able, not themselves, but their phone would switch to the 5G network so that it would relieve the 4G networks.
Mm-hmm.
6G probably going to be the same thing, but more efficient.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Those top speeds on your phone, do you really need it?
I do.
How? Doing what?
I'm constantly on the go. I need to be able to save pictures, edit pictures on the go.
Well, that's a different
look up
story.
information.
But
look
how
up
many people are
questions,
doing
look
that?
up topics.
I will say this.
How many
I'm
people
mad
are doing
about
that?
one thing with this 5G shit. I feel like my internet has been slower since 5G came out.
Nah, bro, it's
Listen,
just
anecdotally. Bro, before I get service wasn't as broad, right? I was kind of used to that. But when I did have service, that shit was stupid fast. Now my phone be telling me I have 5G ultra current, but that's just not fucking loading.
it's your phone.
No, it's not my
I
phone.
promise you, it's your phone,
No,
bro.
it's not my phone.
I've
bro.
never have issues. Like we're on the same network, bro. We're on the same network. My 5G is stupid fast.
No,
Doesn't
the
matter where
5G
I'm in a country.
It's fast, but there's times where that shit tells me I have 5G.
Oh,
and
I know
it's
what you're talking about.
fucking broken.
What do you need to do? Yes, it'll tell you 5G, 5 bars, whatever, but you're not getting anything. What you need to do, you just swipe that down, you hit on the airplane mode, and then you re-hit back. It resets your network, and you're back at full speed. There's something
You know
that
you
happens.
don't have to actually do that, right? There's an actual that green one.
turn
That's
that
for-
off. Yeah,
that's
turn that
for-
off, turn it back on. Yeah. Just doing that will reset your network, and you're back on fucking speed track again. It's a phone thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with
I
the.
don't know.
I don't believe it, but
I
I'll
don't
try
believe-
it.
I'll try it. Yeah, right. I don't believe it, but I'll try it.
Try it. You'll see. You'll see the difference, bro. I promise you. Because to me, like, even if you're uploading,
Instantly, I'm gonna go, oh shit.
even if you're uploading pictures right now, most phones can multitask. So even if you're uploading pictures and looking shit up at the same time, you're able to do that. No problem. Like
My 5G is a lot quicker than my Wi-Fi one. I'm at home when it's like a little bit farther away, so I
But-
just turn off my Wi-Fi.
So this is the thing. What I discovered, for example, Google Drive, my phone can handle it. My Wi-Fi can handle it. My phone by itself can handle the uploads and downloads of videos, even if they're big. Google Drive itself will throttle. It doesn't let me download as fast and upload as fast. So that's what I'm saying.
So it's not
Depends
as
what you-
throttling. Their servers can only move so fast.
That whatever it is just the
It's
end.
the same. We experience that as gamers in the sense, like, for example, that new game that just came out, Helldivers,
I
right?
already knew what the fuck. I was gonna say.
Yeah, because it's all over the internet. I haven't played it. It looks, yeah, I agree. But like, for example, when that game first dropped, like the day of, if you tried downloading it the first 2 days, you're probably gonna get like 20, 30 megs, even less download speed, right? Versus
Well,
like if
you-
I tried to
You
download
complained
it now,
about 20, 30 megs. I used to download it at 500,
All right,
at
boomer.
500,
K, right?
500K, bro.
Yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
half.
500K. Oh my God,
That's
we're
half of it,
speeding
yeah.
through. That's speed of light.
Yeah.
You guys remember when 720p was the shit?
Yeah,
I do remember that. I remember when 480p was like, hey, yo.
yeah. And then if you had a 1080i, you were flexing on all the 720p's because it was a 1080i.
But you know, 1080i isn't really 1080p. It's like upscaled.
Yeah.
Digital upscale.
Digital
Yeah.
upscale over 720p.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The best way I can say about 5G and 6G, it's just like 8K TVs. 6G is going to be 8K TV, but does anyone push 8K to the TV? No one. Like, we barely get 4K content.
Gamers are still playing at 1080p, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have the speeds, but do we really utilize it?
fuck?
No, we
No.
don't. We don't. That's why it's like, okay, great, 6G, but is it going to be
we
that
don't really
much
care
better?
for the
No.
speeds. We care for more the coverage. Like, we want these decent speeds everywhere. That's what we
Well,
want.
you're not going to get that.
I know, but that's what we care for.
The
That's
reason
what
you're not
really
gonna get
bothers
that because in New Jersey, in the boondocks, in the middle of the city that has just one intersection, you're just not getting the service. You're just not. There's no point to get it there. Like, out of all the coverage companies that has the most coverage is Verizon. Obviously has the most coverage, but then you have T-Mobile who has the fastest internet around the United States. So the one thing I found by me traveling a lot and driving a lot, what I would do is I would download Google Maps. There's a way for you to download Google Maps, certain part of a map. You would just zoom out, download that map. It downloads all the data with all the roads and everything. So when you are driving and you don't have any internet service, it just literally follows the map until you hit internet service again. Right? So it kind of GPSes you without any service at all. Does that make sense? It's not 100% accurate, but it gives you the exact data where to get out and where to get in. So that's what I'm saying. Like 6G, great, but how are we gonna use it? Like, you don't have the need for it. It's just one of those things. Or to flex, I have 6G, great. What are you using it for?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's like having a Ferrari and driving 70 miles per hour. I want a Ferrari, but then all I'm doing is driving it at 70 miles per hour.
I thought was fucking hilarious. One of these kids at work, when I used to work at Best Buy, came up to me when 5G was kind of like rolling out still.
Yeah.
And T-Mobile just got their 5G,
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
call ultra current, right? And it was like Miguel was saying, like they were only rolling it out per area, little by little, right? So if you wanted to have, like, your 5G could be, your phone could be 5G capable and all these things, but like, let's say your house isn't part of that coverage area, you weren't getting 5G yet, you had to go somewhere else, and your phone would kind of connect to the 5G. This motherfucker told me him and his friend, which actually was another kid that worked at Best Buy, went to the beach specifically to get the 5G ultra current. I was like, what the fuck? That shit was so funny to me. It's like, you really went over there just to fucking see the thing on your phone that says 5G? And he even told me, like, no difference.
There's no difference, because what they did when 5G was rolling out, they were converting the old 3G towers into 5G, because See, this is what happened. For the longest time, iPhone didn't have 5G. Even though 5G was rolled out, Android phones had them, but iPhone didn't have it. Why? Because of the chipset that's inside it. Because every
It needs a
company,
different antenna. Technically.
yeah, because every company has to buy what's called airspace that's controlled by FCC. So when you buy in that airspace, that specific band, right, the length of the band, which is 9,000, 8,500, whatever it is, if you don't buy that band, FCC will not let you run it because you need to have that specific channel for you to push that 5G through your own
Yeah,
channel.
specific
And
frequency. makes
every
sense.
frequency, and every telephone company has their own frequencies, right? So when these manufacturers are making phones, they're not making it just for one T-Mobile, let's say, or Verizon. They're making it for everyone. So if they're making it for everyone, chip can only hold so many frequencies, right?
Do
Like
you
adding more frequencies is gonna get
do
in
you
the way.
remember when smartphones, not only smartphones, they had this when it was like flip phones and shit like that, came around that they had like the rugged versions
Yeah, yeah,
that
I
were like
remember that.
fucking made for construction
Yeah.
workers and shit like
And
that.
there was Nextel, push to talk, Nextels.
No, I don't
The
know
flip
that
phones were the Nextel. Yeah, look
Oh,
up
yes, yes, I know what
the
you're talking
yellow
about.
black Nextels.
Yes, that shit was like fucking thick as
Yeah,
hell.
you just fucking hammer nails with
I
that
remember
shit.
my
Literally.
my
Yeah.
first phone was a flip phone, and it was a minute phone,
Mhm.
and that shit had an antenna on it.
My first phone.
It had a little collapsible antenna on the side that you could.
My first phone. It was a screen with a little D-pad at the bottom, and then you would go chuck. It would like slide up like this.
My parents had that
And it
phone,
had
and
the
I
keypad.
I was so jealous, dude.
Then
I wanted
like
one so
my
bad.
second phone was one that didn't have the chuck. It was just the pad already. And then I had one that it actually went chuck sideways, and it had the full keyboard. And that was the first phone I had that had access to the internet. That
So
it didn't have an app
The one
store
my
or
parents
nothing
had
like that.
was the one that you could flip to the side, bring out the whole entire
Sidekick?
keyboard.
Yeah, I had one like
That
that.
shit
Sidekick?
was fire.
It's
I don't
called
remember
So
what the
they,
fuck
the,
it was.
one of the first ones that
I
came
still
out was
have it at
Sidekick.
home in one of my little yellow
See,
urns, so it's still there.
But there's the Sidekick, and then there's another one that they came out that instead of it just going sideways up, it fucking flipped.
yeah,
That shit was fucking cool. Rodolfo had one of those.
sidekick. Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rodolfo
so-
had one of them.
no,
shits.
So-
mine wasn't like this.
You remember when these shits
Mine-
were T-Mobile branded?
So you motherfuckers, by the time you got these, go to Nokia unfold like foldable phone. It was like, no, that's not it. That right, no, right there in the middle, up, one
Left?
to the side. Yeah, that.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I had.
That looks
That looked
like, a fucking
calculator.
typewriter.
Yeah, it looks like a
Bro,
calculator,
and
bro.
it would close like that's what it looked like. You see, that's the picture of it in the front right
Yeah.
there. The second under the yellow.
Oh, what the fuck?
And then it would just flip out.
Oh, so you open it like a laptop?
Yeah, you open it like a laptop. That's what I had, motherfuckers. Those are the very first nudes I've ever gotten were on that phone. Yeah.
It was just a dot and a dot.
Yeah. But the phone I had, the very first phone I had was the yellow one, but the newer version of the yellow one without the antenna. Like the break, like I think this was 9110. Oh no, this was 9110. Yeah, so the next iteration of it. That thing was fucking indestructible.
I remember
done
when
dropped it
when
so many times.
smartphones were coming out, not at first, but maybe 5-6 years into smartphones, Nokia was like trying to push their like high end flagship smartphone hard. That shit just did not go well. I think they still make smartphones this day, but they don't have anything like higher.
Go
end.
to Nokia Banana. Put that in Nokia Banana.
Damn my knee, bro.
That phone right there. No, that one over.
It's the same, no?
No,
See,
this
that's
is
too
this
new.
is the newer one. This is the newer one. There was an older version of it. It's a very tiny, small phone, and it was kind of shaped like a banana, bro.
Oh, is it that black one right there?
No, it was with no antenna. It was super small. Like it was this big right here, like the size of, like
Might be that
That
small.
one doesn't have
just
an
do
antenna.
old school Nokia Banana.
I mean, that's gonna be the old school one. Is that with the antenna on it?
So that's the one. That was my very first phone right there. The 3100. Go back to the side one more. Right there. The
This?
blue one. No, up.
Oh,
up, up,
33 one.
eBay $19.
I saw it. Yeah.
30 that
To the right, Mickey 3.
that one. That was my very first phone. My own phone. That right there. That thing was indestructible. I've had it for many years. and then go back out.
Isn't it crazy that those shit still work?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the motherfuckers do.
I think my life would be so much simpler if I
That
just gave
right
one of them
there.
shits to my parents.
See the yellow and a gray next to each other? No, no. The one, yeah,
That one.
that's the one I've had. That little tiny one right there. That was my Nokia banana. I've had that. I've had so many fucking different Nokia phones. For a while, that's all we would buy was Nokia phones.
BlackBerry
Look
had
up
its,
the
had its
Droid.
grab
I've
on
had a
everybody for
BlackBerry as
while.
well.
Droid, Motorola Droid 4.
Give me just 1 second. I have to change one thing here. Motorola Droid.
This was my first
I
high.
remember those. Those
This is my
used to be known for fast charging.
Yeah, Motorola made some good fucking those Droid ones at first. They were pretty fucking good. But I had that first fucking listing.
Yeah.
No, up. Oh yeah, it's the same phone. Same phone. Bro, that was my first fucking like legit smartphone.
Mm.
Straight up. That shit was pretty cool.
I
But
think
I
I
will say,
remember
like,
this.
I think I took it to the beach one time, and once that sand got in there,
That was that.
it was fucked up.
Do type in smallest cell phone.
Bro, and this bitch was thick.
Yeah.
It's like this big,
They're
bro.
all that thick. Yeah, smallest cell phone. No, not that. There was another one. There was a gray one. It was like
Yeah, but right now they have like this thing. This is considered the world's smallest cell phone. That little thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen reviews on it.
There was another one back in the day that was like world's smallest. Click on that. I've had that too. The third picture in. Yeah, I've had that too. That Samsung. That specifically that Samsung. I've had that.
I think my mom had that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Man,
back
they
in the
made them
day,
shits fucking long. Like you could fucking slide that shit far.
that was a flip. That wasn't a slide. It was
Oh,
a
it like
flip.
flipped out.
It flipped out to the side.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah, because you know you're cool because
Fucking
you have
pal.
that in your hand and somebody goes. And them shits still.
I mean, that's the whole point of the fucking flip.
Did this
The
one?
Samsung Flip, and so when that motherfucker calls you, you can go. Jack.
Did, did they ever make any with like a button,
What you mean?
like an automated switch? Yeah.
No,
like
I
a
think all
switch
of them you
blade?
had to.
Yeah.
No,
pop
you had
it.
to pop it a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of tension there.
Damn. That would have been cool.
Kind of had to like
Pop-
release the
just
spring
pop
in
a
one
little
way.
button on the side or something, and just pops
Yeah.
up for you. That'd be cool.
Like a
Well,
fucking
we talking
switchblade,
cell
yeah.
phones. Any one of you ever had a pager?
No.
No, what the
That's
fuck?
beyond my time.
Yeah, bro, come on.
In Lithuania, my uncle bought a pager for my mom, and I would take that pager from her, and this pager only would receive phone numbers on it. When you got the phone number, you called that phone number. That's how you knew like somebody's looking for you. Like literally, a pager would not have a message; it would just have a phone number. That's what I had in Lithuania, bro. Like what wasn't mine, but I would take that.
So
quite frequently.
let me ask you, because I always saw pagers in movies and TV shows and shit from back in the day. But how do you actually send the page? How does that get sent out?
So you would call the number because you knew that's the pager's number. You would dial the number, and then after dialing the number, they would make a beep. You would push, I think it was, if I don't remember correctly, we would push a star and then dial the number needing to call, and it would send that message out.
Damn. Okay. Complicated ass shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So pagers were like
That.
text messages, but before text messages. In a sense.
Pagers were text message with text message, but the very first pagers would just tell you
The number.
the number. Why? Because the battery technology, like the very first cell phones, they were like briefcases, bro.
Right.
Because of the battery.
Yeah, it was like a fucking thing. This
Not
big.
only, yeah, that was afterwards. The very first ones were literally like a briefcase because the
Yeah.
battery and whatnot. Then they're like, well, we can just minimize this for everyone to use it. You make pagers, but when they made first pagers, like they could only make it for like just phone
But
number.
it got to a point where they could do what you said, but instead of putting a phone number, they would
text.
put
They
an
would
actual
just
message, and then on the
yeah.
pager would come up that message.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool, though. That's actually
Exactly.
some pretty cool technology back in the day that they had.
But the whole thing about the cell phones, like, one thing that I miss about old school cell phones was you would charge that phone and that bitch would last you 3-4 days. Like, you didn't need to worry about charging it every day. This
Yeah.
shit would literally last you 3-4 days.
Yeah, but that's because it had the same technology you see in a fucking house phone nowadays. That's all it had versus a fucking APU, camera,
Yeah, of course,
all
course,
this
all
fucking
of that.
bells and whistles that this shit
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, so I have some cool articles today. What is that one?
This one is people who thrive in their retirement years usually adopt these 7 daily habits.
Oh,
The
let's
first
see.
one being staying physically active.
I
which is
agree with
very
that
important.
wholeheartedly.
Second one being lifelong learning, so always learning something every day.
Especially in retirement, that's probably gonna be because you're like out of the job, you're not really doing it. Like you
Gotta keep
need
your mind
busy. Yeah, otherwise you're gonna
Go
just one leg
crazy.
in a coffin and waiting to die.
Literally.
Embrace change.
Yeah, I can see that because you're pretty much set in your ways, and then new things hit very quickly, especially in the age of technology. So you have to be able to adapt, which I think I'm gonna fucking suck at this
feel
because
like
I
it's-
hate
See,
new
but
I feel like
technology.
in a way, I feel like old people don't like technology because they do have to embrace it, and they also are not gonna really enjoy it for very long.
So
What you mean?
this is my
Huh?
ready.
What you mean?
Let's.
I think it's just a matter of like you learning a new thing. You just don't want to do it.
See, yeah, I'm still stuck on the lifelong learning thing. So a lot of the old people I know around me, they're not lifelong learners, and then that begs to ask the question like, what the fuck are you doing until you die then, right?
That's the whole point.
But a lot of the old people I know, like great example is my grandmother. She's not learning shit anymore, but she's using her time to make us happy.
Yeah, that's her
So
thing.
that's her thing, right? So there is that. There is that. You
But-
can't be
but you
expected
gotta
to be 80
remember-
years old, fucking learning shit.
But you gotta
But
remember,
she's
we're
still
in
cooking me
United
rice and
States, right?
beans,
Like
yeah.
that doesn't happen often. In United States, majority of the people are not like
My grandma.
foreign or families, because foreign families are a little tighter than American families are. So go keep going down. Let's see what we're talking about next.
Maintaining a strong social network.
Yeah, that's goes
what-
down
what-
to like
what we just
communicating.
said,
Yeah.
basically, right? Like
Mhm.
being social with people and still interacting.
Mm-hmm. Keep going down.
And lastly, following a balanced diet.
Yeah, in an older age, I think that's pretty
Yeah,
important
but
because
at
your
the
health.
same time, you're already old. I'd say enjoy yourself.
Nah,
a bit.
dog.
I'd say
trust
enjoy
me.
yourself a bit.
Nah. I don't agree with this. The reason I don't agree with this because who are the people that live the longest right now? It's the craziest. It's the craziest statistic that came out. People that were back in the day in Auschwitz, like in a camps,
Yeah.
they're the ones that live longest. Why? Because they're starved. Like literally comes down to starving. What that does, your body goes into this mode. It's called autophagy. And autophagy, what it does, it destroys old and sick cells.
Is it
Autophagy.
autotrophy?
Autophagy.
Autotrophy.
Autophagy.
Autostrophy.
No, type in autophagy.
I
You'll
thought
see
it was
what it says.
atrophy.
Atrophy is when your muscles atrophy. You cannot use them anymore. Like they go bad.
Autophagy.
Autophagy. Yeah, that.
Okay.
Autophagy is a highly conserved eukaryotic cellular recycling process.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
Victor,
the
how did you
degradation
pull
of
that word out?
Eukaryotic.
Cytoplasmic organelles.
Eukaryotes.
proteins.
We are eukaryotes. So you have single cell organism and a multi-cell organism, and multi-cell organism are called eukaryotes, and we're eukaryotes.
Okay.
So so that's what it is. It just really recycles, but first it recycles sick and old cells. So what these people did, they were like, they were skin and bones basically, right? But right now they live to be 100, 110, 115 years old, and it's all attributed to starvation, right? Which kind of sucks, but
Do you think nanotechnology in the medical field could be beneficial and maybe even so advanced to the point where it could emulate cellular processes such as like blood?
yes, it could, but first we need to figure out the DNA. Because I think since 1980s they established, I forget the name, they established this database of gathering information about DNA because we don't really know fully how DNA works, like exactly. And the reason we don't know how DNA works, and I don't want to make this a whole microbiology section, right? Because the way your DNA is based, we all know the helix, right? The double strands. So each strand by itself is called an RNA strand. Two together is the DNA strand, right? So these strands are together, and the way they're connected to each other by base pairs, what's called base pairs. So there are 4 base pairs, T, C, A, G, right? T connects to A, C connects to G. There's no other way around it. And in between, they're connected by a phosphate. That's how the building blocks are built. But now, each gene on your chromosome, right? That's how the chromosome is designed from the DNA helix, wherever, blah, 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 because it's compacted into blah. Anyway. So each gene that manifests itself on your chromosome has a beginning and an end. Why? Because your body needs to know where to start creating an mRNA, which is a byproduct of when they create the mRNA first. And from mRNA, they create the protein that was going to go on and do things. But for these for these proteins to come in, separate your DNA, start creating the mRNA, it needs to understand where it starts and where it ends, right? But here's the problem that we're running into. It starts here and it ends here. We create a protein out of it, right? But this start and end in that whole protein could be part of another completely new gene that's included within the gene. So we don't understand how our body really comes in and says, well, I need to create this protein, so I'm going to start here versus starting in the middle or stopping in the middle. It says, no, no, no. Even though this is a stop, I'm going to go full length because I know this is not going to create the correct protein.
Okay.
So we don't really know. So you can have literally 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 genes that can do on their own, create their own proteins, but they could be all part of one big gene that create their own protein. So this is the issue with DNA. We don't understand it fully. So once we understand DNA fully and how it works, why it works the way it works, then you could create nanotechnology that's going to go in, replace these proteins, and specifically target and create those things in our body. But here's the thing. Our body creates DNA, combines those pairs. I think it's something crazy. I think it's like 100,000 base pairs in 1 second are attached to each other. That's how fast the shit works. Now think about it. You get errors all the time. So that's how it's as fast it has to solve these fucking errors as well.
Yeah.
So our body is this unique fucking thing that we don't really understand fully. And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem, is for us to understand DNA. Now, there have been some advancements and things like that, but the problem here is when they're isolating proteins, right? Because proteins are the most important things in our bodies, per se, right? To isolate a protein is extremely hard in the lab. Like, anytime somebody's working on proteins, you'll see them scratching their head, doing this, doing that, trying to get dust in there, because dust attaches to the protein. Now they can isolate the protein and start working on this protein, right? So our labs are getting there, but they're not there by mile.
If I'm not mistaken, this comes down to if they could figure this out, it'd be astronomical advancements in curing cancer.
100%. Curing cancer, curing osteoporosis, curing Alzheimer's, curing Hashimoto's, curing everything that's possibly out there. They could cure literally everything.
Basically fucked up genetics.
Forget about curing something. They can activate a gene in you and deactivate a gene in you. So let's say you're growing and you have issues, right? You're not growing tall enough. They can activate a gene for you to grow tall.
Oh, yeah.
You're growing too tall. They can stop that gene from making you too tall. Or let's say you're losing hair. They can fix everything you want by literally just activating and deactivating things. That's when you're growing. Now imagine if they get to the point where they can do that when you're 40 years old, when your body is already established. The advancements in this are insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So that's why we're not there. I mean, they're going to be able to cure cancer within the next 5 to 10 years. I'm sure of it. Because there's so much money in research. There's so much money in research into it. Like, because we're 80% successful at curing breast cancer at this point because of the money and research that's gone into breast cancer, right? Eventually, they'll be able to figure out the rest of the cancers just as quickly. But the problem here is trying to figure out the DNA, and we don't yet.
See, my question is it actually curing them 100%? Or just putting these people into recession and then they're no longer into remission, and then no longer are cancer patients. You know
that's what happens. They put them in a remission, but they constantly need to be monitored. But
because at any moment it could come back.
For it to get a vaccine, like we cured polio and things like that.
Exactly.
And that would
be down to the genetics, because right now what they're saying is they're very good on cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Not curing it. So the treatment in the sense where they're going in, removing the tumors from these women's breasts and things like this, and then giving them the correct amount of dosage with chemo. That's not going to... Like, they figured these things out to make the treatment as optimized as possible. Now they're at an 80% success rate. But they don't really know how to cure it.
Yeah.
That's a whole different problem, right?
That's why this technology of CRISPR that came around during COVID times they used CRISPR to create mRNA vaccines specifically for COVID. What that does... CRISPR creates the mRNA. It's basically like, that's how viruses enter our body. They'll enter our body and inject their RNA into us, and the RNA attaches to our cells and creates their own shit. It proliferates within our cells, right? So CRISPR created the mRNA that would go and click on that picture right there. That's a perfect picture of a virus. You see, those are viruses. They attach to the outer side of the cell and they release their RNA in, which then goes in and starts like cutting itself, like our body. That's how it works, right? So basically mRNA, the CRISPR technology, this is why this was so groundbreaking is because they were able to figure out a vaccine to deliver this, not by promoting just giving you like a dead virus where your body creates its own antibodies. They were promoting an actual genetic response from you, right? So a lot of people go in and say, well, after that vaccine, you have a lot of foreign DNA in you. Yes, no shit, genius, because that's how vaccines work, especially CRISPR's vaccine, because they enter their own genetic material in you. When you get a flu, you get a virus. The virus enters into your body and injects its own genetic material into you.
That's
then
foreign DNA right there, bitch.
that's foreign DNA, and then your body learns how to fight that foreign DNA. So anytime it detects it, it uses that part of DNA to fight the virus. Like, you know how people have cold sores on their mouth? That's a virus that sits in your ganglion nerve.
Yeah.
It's permanently there. You cannot get rid of it. There's no vaccine to it. It's a foreign body in your ganglion nerve. So you want to talk about foreign bodies? The biggest foreign body we have in our cells is what's called mitochondria. That's our powerhouses, right? Mitochondria, like scientists think that it was a symbiotic relationship. Back in the day, mitochondria was its own little animal, that in its own little bacteria that attached to our bodies, and eventually we became a symbiote with this bacteria that created energy for us. We kept it in our cells, right? So if you want to talk about foreign bodies, mitochondria, we have aliens inside us, and that would be mitochondria, right? And mitochondria, cool little thing. You always know who's the mom, but you never really know who's the dad. And even if you don't know who's the mom, you're able to find it because mitochondria gets transferred to you from your mom. So all the mitochondria you have in your body are from your mom only. Your dad doesn't give you mitochondria.
So what you're saying is I look more alike to my mom than my dad?
No, what I'm saying is your mom's...
I was about to say that's completely off.
No. So what I'm saying is your mom's energy producing mitochondria is what you have.
Okay.
And mitochondria itself has its own DNA. That's the craziest shit. Your cells have two types of DNA, one for your mitochondria and one for your fucking cell.
Yeah, DNA was actually one of those things that was kind of interesting to me.
And this is
But
when
then-
people ask me, why did you go into microbiology degrees? Like, because this shit was fucking interesting to me. Like, I love learning about
I
this stuff.
actually like that because especially when we got into learning how basically cancer has to do with your DNA, essentially, because the
Yeah.
DNA is basically, best way to put it is
Passed on.
not past, no, so,
DNA is what...
but when it's cancerous, in the sense it's,
Replicated.
no, fuck, I'm trying to
So
think
what
of the
happens is-
fucking term.
DNA goes bad, right? And then
Exactly, it goes bad. That's what I was trying to say.
Your
basically, but I was trying
your
to
cell
think
goes
of a
bad,
different word.
and that cell produces
Extra, right?
it produces proteins to turn off your own cell autophagy.
What do we say when a file is
Corrupted. Yeah.
I was trying to say that the DNA has basically been corrupted and is now, in a sense, producing these proteins a lot of
Yeah.
times too fast.
Yes.
And that's why you get tumors.
Well,
because
There's a couple of ways how it does it, but the most prominent way is it produces proteins that turn off cell destruction, cell suicide. So because your
also
body will
produces too
detect,
fast,
your
right?
cell will detect that something wrong with it, and it will destroy that cell. That's where the autophagy comes in, right? So it produces these proteins that turn off the destruction, and they completely keep multiplying. And
but
that's where you
they
get
also
the tumor.
multiply fast, right? That's another thing, right? Usually.
Some produce fast, some produce slow. It depends. But the point is that, the production, again, because of the proteins, it enforces the production of that
And now the
specific
production
tumor.
just
Yeah.
corrupted.
Because you know how people don't have nothing and then suddenly start growing big ass tumors?
Exactly.
Because it grows much faster than their body, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
part
because
of the corrupted DNA.
Yes, because your body doesn't destroy it. Because you get those cells in your body every day. Every second you get a cell like that, your body destroys it.
Yeah.
Except now your cells cannot detect that it's wrong, and it's like, oh, I'm
'Cause
good,
the
I'm
DNA is
fine. It
essentially
just
corrupted.
continues. Yeah,
Yeah.
because DNA is controlled, and that comes in from when the DNA is formed. Because when your cells split, you form the DNA, and one of those checks and balances doesn't detect the inconsistency,
And that's what
and it connects the wrong base pair to a wrong
corruption
thing. That's
happens.
when the corruption happens, and you continue to go with
That's
it.
one of the reasons it's hereditary.
Yes and no, because you have the safeguard of the when the DNA is made, you have the safeguards there to destroy that DNA. Then there are safeguards when it's already like at certain stage, destroy that, or detects a protein that's producing wrong and then goes destroys it. And another thing is when the cell itself is being detected as wrong, be destroyed. So basically, like the cancer literally eliminates all of those things, where your body no longer recognizes it as a bad cell. It's part of my body. I don't need to reject it.
Yeah.
This is why when go ahead.
I was gonna say we have time for one more topic. If
Okay,
you
go ahead.
guys want me to either ask the
We
question
talk
or
about we
look
can
at
talk about
something else.
RH factor in women giving birth at a later one, because I thought that one like blew my mind about women giving birth. Like if they give birth to the first child and they're born with certain blood type and a certain RH factor, if the next child
RH, what's RH?
RH factor is basically so you know how they say A positive, A negative. The RH factor would be the negative and positive stuff. Um, may have the blood type of RH factor of either parent or a combination of both. Blah blah blah. So so click no the other picture. Yeah, that one. So you can have so the
Okay, so the combination of two tells you your RH
yeah
type, right? You between you and your mother. Okay,
yeah, but
gotcha,
then
gotcha.
RH factor is so basically the point here is if the mother has a first child, her body will produce antigens to protect that specific factor to keep the baby surviving.
I see where you're
But then when
going.
they have the second baby and it's a different RH factor, the body will attack it and kill that baby.
Shit.
Yeah. I thought that was the fucking craziest shit I've ever. Like, most likely that baby is not going to survive because the body will destroy it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
So it's super
it all
important.
determined off your first.
Yeah. So it's super important. Like, that's the whole thing. If you're going to give birth to a baby and then the second one, you might want to stick with your husband, not necessarily.
They more likely to
Yeah.
create the correct RH factor.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I want to see that research. Like, when did you see this?
You should do RH factor in babies being born. It's the craziest shit if you go through it. Now I've forgotten more than I've learned, obviously, Um yeah, so you'll
That's
yeah,
fucking insane.
yeah. Positive you have the positive and negative, hemolytic
Oh,
disease
they're
and
calling it caused by RH disease, hemolytic disease of newborns.
mm-hmm. You can get disease from it, you can get all kinds of things with RH
Oh,
factor.
I've actually seen the baby when we were watching Good Doctor that I think had this.
Mm. And most of the time those babies that are born and they survive through that, they have
They
some
need
sort of
treatment for the
defect.
rest of their life.
Yeah, they
From what
just
I
have
saw, if I'm
defects and stuff
correct
like
on
that.
what I think
You
I saw,
not
those
might not
that.
want to show that on YouTube. Okay.
Miggy's doing his own personal research over
Yeah.
there. I know it.
Don't get a boner, Miggy.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for
Do you
joining
want to
us tonight.
do you want to do one more topic before we shut off?
Whatever you like.
Yeah, let's do
do
one
it.
more topic. Find something that's cool. We talked
I
about
posted a
lot of-
shit ton of watch stuff. We
Yeah,
can do one watch.
yeah, we
thing.
haven't done a watch yet, so let's do a watch. Complete that, and let's do a watch and do a relationship. Tango is there, bro. You got to do the tango, bro.
Might have to
Fucking
go
tango.
through general.
Yeah. Because I have another bullshit tango article we can always visit, We've looked at that. Go down.
Really? Yeah, that. Go up.
Go
That
those
Hamilton.
Hamiltons,
Yep.
yeah.
So Hamilton has made these Ventura watches for quite a while now. They've always been pretty cool, futuristic looking. They are, I think, mostly quartz though, and they're kind of expensive. But
This was when Hamilton made this specific shape.
yeah,
They were like a craze because no one dared to do anything like this, and Hamilton was the first one that came out with
yeah,
this.
it was crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks like a fucking. You took something the shape of like a spaceship, literally,
Mhm.
and made it into a watch, or like what the normal. Look up, just do a separate search, just the normal Hamilton Ventura. Because those are futuristic looking ones,
Mhm.
but just so you
Yeah,
can see,
these are-
like
these
they,
are
they
the-
still look pretty fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, these are the normal Ventura watches,
Yeah.
which look really crazy.
Those
to me.
silver black ones you see there, like perfect example of what you normally see.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like the normals. Now back to the article. They made these futuristic looking ones. I don't know. I think they're pretty cool. I'm always a fan of like a digital style like that. So I think that's pretty
That looks
cool.
like
That
a
second one.
Starship.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
looks like a straight up something
Star
out of
Trek
Star Wars,
themed.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. I saw them pop up on my
They apparently are fucking big though. Can we see? Because it says XXL.
mm.
So I would assume these things are monstrous.
They themselves are they have to make them a little bit bigger so those hands can fit in there, you know what I mean? So
Oh, that's the case back?
well, it's designed after that thing, I'm sure. This probably comes from some
Oh.
movie or something, you know what I mean? From the
Oh, it's
Dune.
from Dune.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're doing a Dune collab, I guess.
It looks like it. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Have you guys watched Dune?
First one,
No.
yeah. First one was fire,
Boring
bro. I
as
want to see.
fuck.
For me, it was fire, bro. I wouldn't watch the second one.
So boring to me, the first one.
It's slow, especially the
I
beginning.
think it's because it's the setup for the second one.
Yeah.
They knew they were gonna do the second movie. It finishes off with that little cliffhanger.
It started very slow, but then it was like very fast to me.
I don't know. I feel like it was pretty slow the whole way. But I do think that it's one of those setup movies. I will give the part 2 a chance.
Yeah. So go to Tango. Go to Tango. Let's
Oh,
do
we gotta do
relationship,
the
bro. Let's
Tango? We're really
complete
gonna do the
everything. We did
Tango?
self improvement. We did cars. We talked all kinds of shit.
You gotta sleep, boys.
Fuck your Tango.
No, Tango is always fun.
All right, we're going through this quickly, Jay.
5 tiny things that aren't technically cheating but are way worse. Okay, let's go.
You decide to discuss your relationship problems with peers at work.
Yeah, I think that anytime you're
Yep.
one of those people, you're a fucking idiot.
Yep.
That's
Eh,
as simple
yep.
as that. The only time you'll never see me talking about relationship. One person will see me talking about relationship, and that is Rodolfo. That's probably the only person that like when we because me and him will usually, at least once a month or every 2 weeks, we'll like spend a day with each other, just talking shit and doing errands with each other, whatever he's gotta do, whatever I gotta do, and like we'll just kind of catch up on everything. And that's the only time you'll see me like talking because he'll ask me, "Oh, how are you doing with Emily?" And I'll bring up little things or whether
Well,
we're doing great.
they're
whatever.
not coworkers, you know what I mean?
Exactly. They're not fucking coworkers. That's what I'm saying. Anytime you see someone doing this, you're a fucking idiot.
So this right here, you are on a business trip with a single peer attracted to you. I would say you can't avoid a business trip with a single peer that's attracted to
Yeah,
you.
this is
What you
something-
can do, you can curb it. But if you go on a trip with somebody that's single and it's most of the time it is girls will
This
go on trips with
situation
that-
is so weird to
Yeah,
me, like-
yeah. This is why
How are you
like,
gonna control this, bro?
this is why even girl trips to me, like girl trips by themselves to me are just like, bruh, like no, just the shit, no.
You work with only peers who you are attracted to.
I don't understand when anyone is gonna have this fucking.
Situation. This
Yeah.
is just the fucking tango bullshit.
This sounds like a perfect world.
What are we fucking working? All of us are working in strip clubs and shit. The fuck,
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and the boys thought about getting lunch over at the Gentlemen's Club.
bro? I've heard strip clubs have good lunch. I don't know,
Bro, they
I've
have a
never
fucking
been-
buffet, bro.
at a buffet.
Yeah, instead of going to Publix, why not just take a little break?
Food and boobs, I guess.
Food and boobs.
They
and
got
booze?
pictures. They got pictures online. I checked.
The
A
research-
person,
I was just making sure they had a buffet.
a person attracted to you contacts you on Facebook.
Well, you can't.
How am I gonna control this?
Yeah, you can't. You
They
can't
reached
control
out
that.
to me.
But you responding back, then
That's
I
another
agree.
thing. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go because you're gonna get, especially as a girl, you're gonna get unsolicited DMs from every single dickhead on
Exactly.
the planet Earth.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be mad every time some dickhead reaches out to Emily on Instagram. That doesn't bother me. If
You,
she
and-
said
you
something
and
back,
your
that would.
partner are newlyweds. You have numerous friends you used to date, and you
And who
continue to call you, and you don't.
You don't tell your partner the truth about dating these individuals. You continue the friendships with these friends, knowing they want to marry you. Can you spot the cheating?
They want to marry you, but you continue the friendship.
I need to see. I don't understand this. You have.
I don't
numerous
get
friends
this
you
shit.
I get
date.
it. I get it.
What is
So,
it?
you need to call
Explain.
What's going
Don't
on
tell your
is-
partner.
You're friends with somebody, but you decide to marry somebody else,
Mhm.
but they're still your friends.
Mhm.
But this person still likes you to the point where they want to marry you.
Okay.
So I guess in this case it would be that they would hang out so often with you even after you're married.
It's. I think this is my situation. The way I understand it. Me and Emily are dating,
Mm-hmm.
right? We break up, and then now we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say I'm the one who initiated the breakup, and she still wants to get back with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? But now we're friends. Boom. Now I get another girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
bring her into the friend group, and never tell her about Emily,
Yep.
and never tell her the history I had with Emily, and just present her like a normal friend.
Well, she's a friend. Like I don't. At this point, she's a friend to you, though.
Can you
No,
spot the cheating?
I'm not. Can you spot?
If-
if I'm just
anything-
explaining what I think the situation is.
If
I'm not saying
anything,
whether I agree.
here's
or
the
not.
thing. If anything, I think to you as a guy, that would give you brownie points with your new girl, because there's another girl that's attracted to you. That's gonna be like a subconscious validation to the new one that you're not a weirdo. But you as a guy, and she does that to you. Like if she does
listen,
that, then that's
don't
game
talk
over.
the dynamics of you and a guy, but in general, should you tell your partner that you had some kind of past with this person you guys are acting friends with?
No, I don't think that's important because I don't go out there and asking how many fucking partners she had or who she slept with, who are these people, why are you still like
But don't you think if she introduces you to someone that's still in her friend group and they had a past, she should let you know?
if she introduced me to someone in a friend group and they still had a past and they actively communicate with that person, that girl is for the streets to me. Like that's just a hit it or
You
quit
know,
it
to
at
tell
that
you
point.
that one thing that pissed me off as a kid that kind of translated into my adult life. There was this guy one time that told me, "Oh yeah, I used to fuck your mom." That shit in real life, I hate that shit. If somebody were
Yeah.
to tell me that about my girlfriend, I would flip.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And majority of the time, like the Gucci flip flops, that was the whole song was about that. I
Just
took your
fuck-
girl and now wear your Gucci flip
I
flops.
just fucked your bitch.
Yeah.
Gucci flip
flops.
Yeah. That's what whole song is about. The guy flexing on another guy saying I fucked your bitch. You understand that? So now you have this guy friend within a group that's gonna turn around and tell me I fucked your girl in some Gucci flip flops. Nah, that girl is for the streets, bro. I'm just smashing you at this point until you get around and understand that that person can no longer be in your life. But if they're still in your life, you might want to get back with them because obviously there's some sort of an emotional connection there.
Alrighty, guys. Everyone, thank you everyone in the chat for joining us today. Copper, my dad, my mom, Arthur.
Like, subscribe.
Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget about Vitality, guys. You know, you got that location on Park Street and 4th Street. So we're covering the whole St. Petersburg Peninsula for you guys. So yeah, thank